Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Gissa from B class. Here, I will tell you about my most memorable holiday experience. During the Eid holiday this year, my family and I went to visit my grandmother's house in Agung City, Lampung. I traveled for 16 hours because during the trip I stopped a lot to rest. Before leaving for Lampung, my uncle, who was driving the car, happened to be sick, so during the trip we were all worried about my uncle's condition. But my uncle said that he was able to drive the car all the way to Lampung. When I arrived in Lampung at 7 p.m., I didn't go straight to my grandmother's house, but I went with my family to the nearest hospital to check on my uncle's condition. When he was examined, my uncle felt that his condition was better. After that, at 8 p.m., we ate first, but when we finished eating, my uncle rushed us to hurry up and eat because my uncle he was not feeling well. After that, we continue our journey to my grandmother's house because my father had been home to my grandmother's house for a long time, and when he come home, my father used public transportation, so he didn't know the way to my grandmother's house. As a result, at 10 p.m., we asked our relatives who were already at grandma's house to pick us up in front of a gas station. At 11 p.m., we arrived at grandma's house. The next day, my uncle had a recurrence of his illness, and this made us a family very panic. It turned out that after being examined by a doctor and not finding out what illness my uncle was suffering from, and we all felt strange about his illness because it only recurred every 9 or 10 at night. So my father asked my brother, who knew about the occult, to help check the illness that my uncle was suffering from. Then after checking it turned out that it was true that my uncle was not sick because of an ordinary illness, but because someone had said magic, because the person had my uncle. During that holiday, I felt so scared and worried about my uncle that this was a bad experience that I will never forget. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.